Hey, Anthony O'Connell here. Danny Vega, Am I the Asshole podcast.
I like it. No connecting words, just series of keywords.
These kids, they have no attention span.
None. Let's get to the meat. We're the only podcast that does that. We go right for it, folks.
Right into the meat.
But we do have to give you a little bit of background.
A little bit. Teensy bit.
Anthony and I love Am I the Asshole, a subreddit on Reddit. I don't know where else you would find a subreddit. And the premise of the subreddit is...
Am I the asshole?
Wow. People submit situations where they're not sure if they're the asshole or not, and the users of Reddit who subscribe to this subreddit, we're among them.
Absolutely. Super fans, if you will.
Yes. Write in comments. And in general, there's some sort of tally done. I'm actually not exactly clear on how it's done, but the moderator, the people who sort of control the Reddit, will decide, are they the asshole? And they have a series of acronyms they use to do that.
Absolutely.
YTA means...
You're the asshole.
NTA.
Not the asshole. ESH.
EHS.
Oh, yeah. Is it everyone sucks here or everyone here sucks?
Oh, I thought it was everyone here sucks.
I don't know.
But that's a situation where everyone's an asshole.
Everyone's bad.
And then I think I've seen once, no one here is the asshole.
I feel like that's a rarity.
That's rare.
It's the internet.
That's like once. So anyway, that's the premise of the subreddit, and we are going to pilfer from it until we can get submissions from you, our wonderful listeners.
Yes.
So,
I'm chomping at the bit for their feedback personally. I want to hear from you.
I'm hyped. Now, it's interesting, as a food blogger, how do you feel about chomping at this bit? Is that delicious?
Yes, this is 100% Upper Feast approved.
Wow.
That's my one promo per show.
One promo per show. That's what he's allowed. Hachi machi. Let's pop right into it.
Why not? Let's do it.
All right. Am I the asshole for going through my girlfriend's phone?
Oof.
By user Cold Parfait 2. And here's just a little disclaimer for the listeners. A lot of these people make what's called a throwaway account, which is like a burner phone.
Because they don't want this evidence tracked back to them.
Right.
Plausible deniability.
Yes. So these people, just to be crystal clear, are submitting basically anonymously. I'm sure the FBI could track them down. Am I the asshole if I stole from the federal government? Okay, that's just called cheating on your taxes. Folks, let's do Anthony is a great laugher, isn't he? All right. Am I the asshole for going through my girlfriend's phone? My girlfriend has been going out a lot recently with her high school friends. I thought these were just a bunch of girls, but last night she admitted that one of the friends was a guy. When I had the chance, I took out her phone from her bag and went through her WhatsApp messages. She was having a group chat with this guy, obviously flirting with her. He was calling her babe and darling, so I sent a message to the group chat just reminding them she had a boyfriend and saying she wasn't going out with them again if he was there. I was a bit drunk. She caught me with her phone in my hands and we had a pretty big argument and I went home alone. I've still got her phone, but I'm not sure I want to return it after last night. LOL.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
First and foremost, I don't know if you jump right into it. I think, yes, he's the asshole for a bunch of reasons.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there's a whole CSI level of analysis that needs to go down here, but I think in general, going through someone's phone is already a crime in most relationships.
Exactly. It's an invasion of privacy, and if some people allow it, then that's fine. But if you're abusing your rights, and then I love that he's just reeking of insecurity. High school friends, in air quotes, the obviously flirting in all caps. This guy seems very... And then he stole her phone. He just kept her phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's really weird. He still has her phone. That's got to be the craziest part. Like, give her phone back, mate. What's going on?
This is unreasonable.
Yes. I think that the high school friends thing, that just reeks of... Are they in college? I mean, they must be in college. That's what that's from.
Probably freshmen in college.
Right. I'm in college now. How dare anyone associate with the non-collegiate...
You townie.
Yeah, like, the girl is up to no good. I guess, let me play devil's ad for a minute here. She's up to no good because she is doing something Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I disagree.
Okay.
Only because she never said that it was all girls. He assumed that.
You're right. I thought these were just a bunch of girls,
Exactly.
but last night she admitted. So somehow, yeah, you're right. Well, I mean, I'm gonna try to play devil's advocate for this guy. She may have spun things in such a way, right? So
To
she's
lie by
like, yeah,
omission.
it's just a bunch. Yeah, exactly. She's like, it's just a bunch of my friends, and it is, I think, a fair assumption that he would then picture a bunch of girls, and that's why he classifies her thing as an admission, because she's like, well, yeah, I mean, one of them is a guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Obviously, you can be friends, but like, I believe him that he thought they were a bunch of girls, and that she wasn't cheating, but like what she was doing was not okay. There we go.
This girl was called Babe and Darling. That's not really the end of the world. Like, that's flirting, but it's not like he was like, hey, sexy, or like, you got a fat ass or something. I don't know, man. I think it was pretty innocent flirting.
I don't know. Babe and darling, that's...
So what do you expect this poor girl to do? Be like, excuse me, I have a boyfriend. Don't call me darling. I know we're just casually having fun here. In a group chat, no less. So it's not like it was a private DM or a private text.
That's a pretty good argument.
It's like, you know.
I'm trying to think. I do have a friend that calls me babe, and I haven't told my girlfriend about it, but she only does it rarely, and I don't know. It's like, so like... that would be acceptable. I mean, I'd be like, yeah, she calls me babe. Like, it's a joke. It's nothing.
You and your girlfriend have open phone policy, correct?
Right. I mean, that's a whole different Pandora's box to open. We do have an open phone policy. We can access each other's Face ID. Clearly, they're not on that level. I think that's implicit that, like, what he did was not, like, okay or, like, normal.
Exactly. If you have an agreement, I say go nuts, do whatever you got to do whatever you want to do. But it's really fucked up to just invade your privacy like that. That being said, I've definitely done it before. I've been a drunk idiot, and I've looked through girls' phones. And here's the thing: is if someone's gonna cheat, they're gonna cheat. You know what I mean? Like, looking through their phone is not gonna stop them.
Right.
Even if they delete everything, or you never know what's going on. I have a friend who cheats. And he has a code thing where if he and the girl have to text a code to each other, like a code word.
Okay.
And if it's not said, they know it's their spouses trying to catch them.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty crazy stuff. So, and he actually almost got caught, and he had to use the code, and the girl didn't send him the code. So then he was just like, nah, we're just friends. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So if someone's going to cheat, they're going to do it no matter what you do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think... I guess I'm trying to think about... We do have an open phone policy, but that doesn't mean that my girlfriend would just go through my phone. I mean, I wouldn't go through her phone either, necessarily.
I think it's best not to.
No, that would be weird. And I wouldn't do it. It's more for like, she'll literally be like, can you look this up on my phone? Like, can you text this like I have to do some errand for her using her phone.
So it's not like every night at midnight before bed, you're like, love you, let me check your phone.
Yeah,
And
let
then
me audit
you
that
switch
shit.
phones.
Let me see what's going on. What did you do today? It's boring as tears. She worked is what she did.
So what would you have done differently if you were this guy and, you know, you found out that she was texting a dude? Would you have stolen the phone? This is extreme, right?
I know. I mean, I think you pegged this guy right. He's insecure, and he had a lapse of insecurity. He was drunk, and he was getting paranoid, and that's it. He went through her phone and did this insane thing, which is honestly probably, in addition to being a violation of trust, like pretty unattractive, I would say, because it's sort of like, you're crazy. You just went into a group chat. I mean, that's the other thing. He says, reminding them that she had a boyfriend. So I'm just curious, did she write like, LOL guys, I have a boy? Like, did he write it from her perspective, or he was like, hey guys, this is Cheryl. I don't know her name is Cheryl. This is Mackenzie's boyfriend, and just alerting you all. Like, I don't know what that vibe was.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So what was the determination on Reddit? Was everyone the asshole? Or only he sucks? YTA?
No, because I think you're right, because it was deemed, people aligned with what you said, which was like babe and darling. Like, I mean, this guy could be gay, you know, but that he was deemed the asshole. It was not an everyone here sucks.
He stole her phone, for crying out loud. I hope this girl broke up with him.
Give it back.
I want more deets.
There's never enough deets. That is the one problem with this subreddit. Now, let me ask you, if it was the case that she was blatantly cheating, so he went into the text message, let's say it's not a group chat, it is a DM, and she had sent them nudes of her boobies. What say you?
What would I do if I was dating a girl and she sent another man nudes?
Yeah. Well, would he be the asshole still had he not had probable cause, but then went in and found evidence? In the legal system, they would say that doesn't count.
I think if he steals her phone, even if nudes are involved, I think he's the asshole. You don't get to take her property just because you can't hold it down.
Right. Would you say that's everyone here sucks situation?
If she sent nudes, then yes, everyone would definitely suck.
Right.
Because she's an asshole for sending the nudes, especially when she's in a committed non-monogamous or monogamous?
Monogamous.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, you are a poly. That made you sound so poly. What is it called?
I can't even relate. But yeah, no, everyone sucks. If that were the case.
If that were the case.
What if he saw the text come up, but then just talked to her like an adult?
I would say I would call that a mature relationship. Babe, I'm having these feelings of insecurity. Your group chat, I feel like you're pulling away from me with the group chat, which my girlfriend has said to me because I have this stupid Arizona group chat I'm in. She's like, why are you texting the group chat? Be here with me now.
That's fair. I don't know why, like, if 10 people text me separately, I'm okay with it. But a group chat, I just get annoyed for some reason. I don't know what it is about a group chat.
Worst. It brings out the worst in people.
And then it usually devolves, at least my group chats devolve into like GIFs and like, screen grabs and stuff like that.
Yes. Well, actually, I'm trying to formulate a rule because my stupid group chat is in Facebook Messenger and then it's also in Insta DM. And they always post memes from stupid pages that I don't follow, and they're all private. And I'm like, I'm never going to click that. I'm not going to follow them. Only screen grabs.
Just to see this stupid GIF that you don't even care about.
Then I'm following like fucking babies killing themselves, Instagram. You know what I mean? These horrible pages. You're like, why? Why
it's a nightmare.
It's like child abuse that's technically not illegal. Like tigers that are dead. We're beating them with bat. Like what? How? That's a really long handle. We're ready for our second letter.
I'm ready. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, here we go. AITA, which is an abbreviation.
What does that stand for?
They know. I ditched a girl 40 minutes from her house on our first date.
Wowza.
By you rando throwy 0925.
Now, question. Do you think this is his real Reddit or you think this is a throwaway account?
I'm going to go ahead and say it is his real Reddit.
Yeah, this is his personality.
Yes, he was born on September 25th, and a throwy is referring to his favorite pillow. Huh? How about it? So I meet a girl on Tinder named Kim. I think this is just protecting her anonymity. Anonymity.
Anonymity.
Edamame. I meet a girl on Tinder named Kim, and we exchange a few messages before deciding to meet up for coffee. The date is going okay, although it was a bit boring. We grabbed our cup of Starbucks. I paid. We chatted for a bit and decided to drive to a cool little park to go for a walk. We drive 30 minutes to this park, listen to a bit of music, still getting to know each other a bit, and everything was going fine. So we're walking around the park, talking about hobbies, stuff like that, and I had to take a leak. When I walked out of the bathroom, I noticed she was talking to a guy, and he was being very flirty. And when I walked up to them, he asked who I was, and she responded, "Oh, he's just my friend." And he said he wanted to grab her number to go out for a drink sometime. She was all too happy to give him the number, and they hug with a kiss on the cheek before he leaves. At this point, I was just over it. I wasn't that interested in her, and if she's the type of person to show interest in another guy and exchange info in front of me, I have no future with her. I decided to make up some random excuse to get away from her and just got away in my car and drove home. I didn't want to have to deal with her company for a 40-minute drive and was over it. Am I the asshole?
Oh my God. There's a lot of stuff going on there.
Wow.
First of all, my first thing I noticed is he went on a Tinder date to get coffee, which I feel like is a recipe for friend zone. And there's nothing wrong with the friend zone.
Interesting.
I personally love friends, so I'm not saying the friend zone in a derogatory term, but In my experience, if I go out, and I know you're sober, but if I go for a drink with a girl, I have much better success.
I'll go for drinks with you. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Alcoholic drinks, like to a bar.
Right.
Then I do, I have much better chances of a second date or something. Whereas if I go get coffee with a girl, it seems like it's more conducive to becoming a friend with the girl, which is nice. I love friendship, but it seems like this guy wanted to smash.
You're saying that so much, I almost don't trust it, Anthony. I love friendship.
Yeah, they're fine. Friends are fine. And also, he went to Starbucks, which is pretty lame. You can't take her to a mom and pop shop.
This guy, exactly.
Flex a little.
Is, what's the word I want? Plain white toast.
He's a basic bitch.
He is.
He probably ordered, there's nothing wrong with a mocha wacka frappuccino, but he did it.
I think the line, and we'll get into the meat of this, but the line that I just can't get out of my head is, I decided to make up some random excuse to get away. Because I just see him being like, I've got to go. Jigglypuff is on Pokemon Go.
He might have literally said random excuse.
Right. Random excuse.
Also,
the factory is on fire and there's a dog trapped in the incinerator room. Like, what was the random excuse that he used?
That's hilarious. Also, I love his little aside, the Starbucks I paid. He just had to let you know that he bought her coffee.
Oh,
congrats.
That's deep. Yeah, I mean,
$4, maybe $4.50.
Oh, baller. No, and that's going on to like, this is the same general vibe of an insecure guy. I don't want to indict him too hard, but you're right. The I paid thing, that is like leaning in. It's like,
would you expect her to fuck you because you paid the
because you bought her a fucking? She's like, can I get a venti? Actually, she'll get a grande. You know what I mean? Like, just trying to cheapen it out. Okay, now I gotta say, what she did is pretty brutal, though.
Yeah, giving her number away in front of him, and to say like he's just my friend. Like, she could have been like, "This is my Tinder date. It's not going well," or like any number of things. But I don't know.
You think that would be better? Oh, it's just my Tinder date. He's totally blown it. I'm not gonna fuck him. He downgraded me from a venti, so it's just totally not gonna.
Okay, you're right.
I mean, I just feel like that's blatantly mean. I feel like it's mean. It's mean.
Like she was. It seems like neither one of them were very interested. They were just talking about hobbies and some bullshit. So you're thinking she could have let him down easier.
See, I don't know. I don't know how Tinder dates go because I don't mess with any of that. I can't do it. Like I'm not. If I send you one message and you don't send it back, I'm angry. Like I can't do that.
That makes sense.
I don't do non-responses.
I've blocked many a Tinder girl for that very reason.
You sent a message, she didn't respond, and you blocked her?
Yeah.
That's my exact vibe. Mood.
Hashtag mood.
So, okay. I mean, I guess I'm trying to understand, but like if you go on a Tinder date, it's a date still.
It is. This sounds like a bad date. It started at Starbucks.
It does suck.
And then he took her 40 minutes from home. Is he going to murder her in the woods?
Yeah, why did they go so far? Or maybe she traveled.
I don't know.
Yeah, that part of the story, I hadn't even thought of that. He's like, yeah, come to my neighborhood.
Let me take you deep into the woods.
Right.
I got to take a leak.
I live in Leakin Park. You might have heard of it from cereal. There's a Starbucks over on the north corner.
She probably wanted this strange man to help her. She's picking up guys in the woods.
Yeah. Yeah, what she did is brutal. I think, though, considering that even he admits that things were like, everything was going fine, that's not what you would really say if a date was hitting.
Right.
Like, I could tell there was attraction or something. And I had to take a leak. I mean, I do like that. That is the one thing I like about him is he has to take a leak, which I've always enjoyed that phrase.
It's a very funny phrase.
It is, because it's almost like you filled the gas tank over capacity and now you need to get rid of what's leaking over. It's almost like you still have to pee after you take a leak. Does that make sense?
Yes. How do you feel about drain the main vein?
I think that's rough. I think that is a felony. If somebody said that to me like it was likable and not like ironically, I would be like, we need to talk about what people are.
But it rhymes. True or false, it rhymes.
It rhymes too much. It's like aggressive. It's like, were you sitting there calculating that? I've never heard it. I've heard drain the lizard, which I do enjoy.
Yeah, my uncle, shout out Uncle Terry. He was an Air Force guy. He's like weird, but like in a fun uncle way. He's not like a bad weird. But
right.
he says drain the main vein.
And how's he doing? Is he married for like 40 years? Is he one of those guys?
He is. He's married, happily married with 2 kids.
That's why he's saying things like that. He doesn't have to be charming anymore. He's locked in. What she did was brutal. We agree on that. Now, okay, we missed a big beat here. They hug with a kiss on the cheek before he leaves. I mean, that's close to a fuck you.
But some girls just love the kiss hello and the kiss goodbye.
Oh, give me a break.
They do, and it makes me uncomfortable because I never know, like, where do I kiss them on the cheek? Like, are you flirting with me? Or are you just being friendly?
You're friends with a girl who kisses on hello and goodbye on the cheek?
Yes.
Is she Latina?
She is.
Oh, give me a break. He would have said she was Latina.
You know what? I think you're right. I think only Latinas do that.
Yes.
Not to paint with the broad brush
I'm
here.
a Cuban. I can say that. Don't call them broads, bro. Fuck, man. You're a bigot.
Hachi machi.
Hachi machi. Here we go. We get 3 of those per ep. Listen, I think this guy... Okay, so I'm empathizing with him. If this happened to me, I would feel hurt. I would feel hurt. And I think this guy is a beta. Obviously, he's bringing girls to Starbucks. He doesn't know what he's doing. Making her go 40 minutes away. I mean, this is not the plan of someone who knows what they're doing.
He's like, the implication.
Right.
She's 40 minutes away.
Yeah, I have her now. Like, he's clearly... So I think he was hurt. And I actually say that I don't even think what he did is an asshole move. I think he zapped her $30.
Because the Uber, she has to take an Uber home.
Ostensibly, yeah, an Uber. Something like that. You know, depending on where she is. But I'd say $30 is a pretty fair estimate. And I feel like she's the asshole. I mean, I feel sexist saying it, but I feel like that's brutal. You know, like, she could have let him off soft, and she didn't. She would have had to endure. To go into her head, she's like, this date is going horribly. From her, probably, right? Because this guy sucks.
Yeah.
All she had to lose was a 40-minute drive home. Right? Like, that's all she stood to lose, and that's all that he essentially gave her. You know, like, that was her worst case scenario, was having to drive back with him, which sucks.
Yeah.
I don't think this guy sounds dangerous, you know?
So what do you think his excuse was? Or, I guess, to not speculate, if you were going to leave a girl, what would your excuse be? What would you say?
I would say my brother's sick. Or my brother's depressed or something like that. Because my brother lives in the city, so that's a good one.
It's a very good one.
It's real. I stick to real. My food blogger friend's at a bad restaurant.
If it were me, I would tell her to get a ride home from that guy. Because I'm a little more combative, and
that's a fight.
I would be very hurt too, but if I'm being honest with myself, I'm very petty, and I can, like, say mean things just to be petty and mean. So I can be an asshole sometimes. But I would be like, yeah, just, that guy, just have him take you home. And then I would have left.
Mm-hmm. And you would have been hurt, though.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely would have been hurt. I probably would have been teary-eyed on the drive home.
Okay, I was going to say I probably would cry. I didn't want to admit it.
Yeah, dude, I admit that.
I would cry. I'm crying thinking about it. So, but do you say he's the asshole?
I think he did the right thing. Or I think he's an asshole, but I think he's not wrong for doing what he did.
Yeah, and I think another defense of him is, had he held it together, there is the alpha move, right? So the most alpha way to approach this would be if he was like, yeah, whatever, dog. Like, I don't even care.
She probably would have been attracted to him if you'd have been super chill, big dick energy, just, whatever.
Yes. Yes. But I don't think that was a reality for this guy.
Yeah.
This brainiac who brings girls to Starbs. So that wasn't even an option. That wasn't a possible move.
Fair.
So then the other 2 things are she gets ditched. That's what happened. Or they both have to endure a cringy 40-minute ride home. Right? Like, there's no way that's not awkward for both of them.
That's true.
So in some sense, he spared her.
He low-key did her a favor. He gave her a bill. He did give her a bill.
He gave her a bill.
But,
And she got herself a Joe, who's this guy.
I think you know what? I agree actually 100% with you. I think it would have been worse had he driven her home. So I'm thinking I'm going to switch over to he's not the asshole.
Not the asshole.
You convinced me because
NTA.
Because it's more nice. That would have been a brutal drive home for both of them.
Brutal. And we welcome, by the way. I would love to hear from any woman who says we're full of shit and we're monsters for saying he's not the asshole. I think we're both a little bit. We've been slighted. We've been hurt. We're vulnerable men.
But who hasn't? Women get hurt. Everyone gets hurt.
Fair enough.
I
think we're on the unassertive side. I say this guy's not the asshole. That's my 2C.
The result was everyone sucks here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we are going against the subreddit on that.
And so do you agree with us? Let us know. Please comment. I would love to hear from our fans.
Love it.
All right.
AITA for telling my fiance that it's me or the dog. Strap in.
Ultimatum alert.
I have been with my fiance for 3 years. When we started dating, I already had my little dog, a tiny Yorkie. Everyone loved her. A couple of years after we had moved in together, he brought home a large pit bull mix that he found on the side of the road. We took the dog to the shelter, but they didn't have room. We decided to temporarily have the dog, but my hubby fell in love. My fiance's dog had a lot of aggression issues. We got books. We hired trainers. It was a battle. He bit several people the first year we owned him. One bite required stitches. It was awful. One bite required stitches. He never showed aggression toward other dogs. It was mostly directed at strangers. He got better, but then injured his hip and attacked a dog at a park. The dog needed stitches. Then, last week, he killed my dog. I was sitting on the couch watching some TV, and my fiance's dog was laying on the ground in front of me, licking himself. When my dog walked by, he jumped up and lunged at her, grabbed her by the neck, and shook her to death.
Jesus.
It came out of nowhere. He had never even growled at my dog before, but I can't help but blame myself for letting him near her. I told my fiance that I was done. It was me or the dog. We called the shelter, and they said that realistically the dog would be put down if we brought him in. Some of his friends have messaged me and called me a bitch, but I honestly can't push past my feelings for that dog. I hate it. AITA here.
Wow. No, she is 100% not the asshole. Not even a little bit. There's a lot of I hate all of this. This dog murdered her dog, and the fiance just didn't care.
I'm going to try to fight you on this, see if we can have some fun with it. First of all, murdering does not apply to dogs.
The dog was alive, and then now it's not.
Well, it's not murder. The dog killed the other dog, but, you know, dogs are dogs. I can't even argue for this guy. I mean, I'm trying to empathize with this man. He loves this dog, and I have a cousin who he loves his dogs. I swear he loves his dog, probably more than me. If it was between his pit bull, these pit bull owners, they love the pit bulls.
They do?
They love them.
I personally love pit bulls. I really believe if you're good to a pit bull, it's going to be good. If you're shitty to any dog, regardless of breed, I think it's going to be bad.
Right. I mean, I happen to know some dog stats. The stats is it's very unlikely to be killed by a dog. 26 people, something like that, die a year from dogs. However, of those 26, 20 of them are killed by pit bulls. That would be incredible. I'd love to be killed by a Chihuahua.
It'd be the most annoying, slow.
How would he even do it? So if you're killed by a dog, it is a pit bull. But that's beyond. That has nothing to do with this. We're just upsetting the pit bull owners. I love pit bulls as well. They're actually wonderful dogs. They're very loyal, and I think that's actually why.
And they're just naturally strong as fuck.
They're so strong.
They're jacked.
Right. They are jacked.
You know what? This one thing I'll say about this evil dog, this little Cujo, he injured his hip. And then he murdered the dog.
Right.
So maybe, let's just play devil's advocate, maybe this injured dog was healing and this little shit was biting at him.
That's possible.
We don't know exactly what's going on. This lady only gave her side of the story.
Yeah, and well, she may not have seen it either, you know.
That's true.
The dog's doing a little nip here and there, you know, and he picked the wrong fight.
Because little dogs are notoriously annoying. I feel like that's safe to say.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
They have Napoleon syndrome. They think
Right.
they're a jefe, but they're not.
Bring me a medium dog. That is
I love a mid-size.
Love a mid-size. I think, first of all, that this dog is dangerous.
Absolutely.
Because he was aggressive towards strangers. And now we have a situation where the dog has, as you said, murdered a dog. And I find that unforgivable. And I find her feelings, more importantly, I find the fact that her feelings can't be washed away to be very understandable.
Absolutely.
She watched her dog be shaken to death.
Yeah.
Which is weird also.
That's so sad.
It is sad. I'm tempted to make a joke about shaking babies. I'll say this. There's not a lot of beings that can be shook to death. I guess you could shake anything to death. Because if you shake a grown man and you're big enough.
You can't even shake a LaCroix.
That's what?
When you open it, it goes everywhere. It's ruined.
Right.
It's flat.
I guess you're right. most things can be killed by sufficient shaking.
Yeah, you don't want to shake anything as far as...
fair.
Another thing I hate is her friends his friends calling her a bitch. Wildly inappropriate.
That's horrible. That's unacceptable. I say I want an apology from all these guys. That is completely out of line.
Absolutely.
And that's very... I'm like, yo, who is this guy that's who his friends are? Like, that is wildly out of line. Like, if they sent the message, we're like, just so you know, Spot is my favorite dog, and I look forward to going there, and it would devastate me. That would be weird, but within the rules.
Right.
But dropping a B word out of there?
Yeah, like, hey, you have feelings, and like you're sad that your dog got murdered in front of you. Killed. Sorry for the distinction.
Yeah. Well, not murdered, killed. I don't think this woman's an asshole at all. I think this is a completely reasonable expectation, me or the dog, and I hope this guy isn't stupid. He's obviously dating someone who's got a good head on their shoulders. I think he should choose her, and I think that he is the asshole. So this would be a NTA situation, because you're not really supposed to just be like, well, the person they're talking about's an asshole. That's not really the premise.
Right. And do you think she was out of bounds to leave him? Because she says, I am done.
No, I think I understand for her why this is an ultimatum situation. I think ultimatums, I've learned a lot about ultimatums, and I'm happy we're getting into this. I think, first of all, you need to be very careful. You should only use them if you 100% mean them, because the problem with an ultimatum is not that it's ineffective. In fact, they generally are effective. Danger with an ultimatum, and you don't hear enough about this in the press, you put the idea of breaking up in the other person's head. And that's ugly, and that damages trust. You only want to pull out the big guns when you absolutely need to. And I've actually done this. I have brought out the big guns for no freaking reason. So sometimes it's just not necessary, Like if this was like the dog ate her fish, and she was like, this is unacceptable, I don't think you don't need to go full ultimatum status.
The dog chewed up my boots. Like, that's annoying, but it's not the end of the world.
Right. And she might want to get rid of the dog in that situation. And it might be, that's the thing too. It's like, sometimes the ultimatum is more damaging than what's actually at stake. That's what I'm trying to say.
And plus, I think, why would you even want to be with a person who doesn't respect your feelings? Because I feel like this guy clearly doesn't respect your feelings. Like, she's like, hey, this dog's violent. He killed my dog. Like, get rid of your dog, dude. And he's just like, nah.
Nah, it's fine. He's a good boy. I'm so excited. We got a couple of user submissions here in episode 1. Can you believe that?
What a time to be alive.
This one comes from our submission form. By the way, you can submit or give us feedback or whatever the heck you want to tell us at AITApod.com. That's AITAPOD.com.
Ooh, a website. Fancy.
Here's what they wrote. When hotel rooms only have one tiny trash can in the bathroom to serve as the sole trash can in the entire hotel, I will sometimes pick a spot on the floor and use that as a secondary trash can. I imagine that other people do this, and at some point management will one day decide it's worth it to just buy another trash can rather than hear their staff and guests complain about it. Alex from Disneyland.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for submitting. I'm thrilled just to have a submission. I'm into it.
Great submit. I think this is a legitimate question.
What say you? You think asshole or no?
No, I don't think it's an asshole move. I do have an optimization. I think the optimization is to use a surface rather than the floor. Because if you use a surface, for instance, to the right of the TV, is there not always space to the right of the TV?
So you're saying just throw it on the dresser or maybe like the desk or something?
Exactly. And that way, the hotel keeper can just use her arm, shove it all right in the wastebasket. You might actually make it easier for her than a trash can.
So I'll say I agree with that idea to a certain extent, but I'll just play devil's advocate here. What if take it out of a hotel? You're walking down the street. There's no trash can for 2 blocks. Does that allow you to just litter on the street?
No, absolutely not. Littering is an asshole move because it might even be the most basic kind of asshole move, because you're saying that my extremely minor convenience is worth making the city a little bit worse for everyone else. It's a tiny bit of assholishness, but it's there.
So how is it different than leaving your litter in a non-trash receptacle? Like, you could argue that's littering. It's in a space.
Well, because first of all, it's indoor, so it's not littering. I think if you leave your trash in the McDonald's, you may be an asshole because you're inconveniencing an employee. So that's a little bit less assholish because it's understood that it's going to be cleaned up. And I think in this case, you're literally paying someone, tip your housekeeper.
Oh, yeah, you got to tip the housekeeper. I've been traveling for years, and someone told me you're supposed to tip. And so for like 5 years of adult traveling, I was not tipping.
Good God.
I didn't know.
Asshole.
But someone taught me, and I leave a $5. Is that enough?
I think it depends how long you're there. How long are you there?
Normally like 2 or 3 nights. Is that a little low?
Might be a little stingy. I mean, I don't know the rules. We got to look this up for
the
future.
proper etiquette.
What are the rules? Because is it 10% of your, like, if you're staying in a fucking $700 a night room, which I never have on my own accord, certainly.
Yeah.
Do you tip 15%?
I think $5 to $10 seems fair.
Yeah.
And I'm basing that on literally nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's a whole calculus to this. But bottom line, I think this person is not an asshole. I think they should throw in this optimization. It will probably make their life easier, too, to just throw it on top of the desk.
I'm going to go, even though you submitted, and I'm very thankfully submitted, I'm going to say asshole move because you can just throw it in the bathroom trash. Or if you're not in the bathroom so often, bring the bathroom trash to the main space.
But it's so small, and then you gotta aim it, and But you say tiny. Come on, that's a pretty tiny offense.
It's like a microaggression, but if I had to determine asshole or not, I would say yes, asshole move.
Wow. Well, we differ there. Thank you, Alex from Disneyland. Justin Kaziski, who is my brother's best friend, I actually consider him my brother,
nice.
Submitted this cashier incident. Love this one. He writes in a text message to me and my bro. Boys, how fucked up is this? I'm buying shoes at Journeys. Asshole. Just kidding. Cashier asks for my email. I give it to her. I follow up. Wait, am I going to be getting like inundated with emails now? She says, we'll send you like updates on sales or deals and stuff like that. I reply, oh, okay. I'm actually not interested in getting any of those. She says, well, you can just hit unsubscribe on the emails. It's not a big deal. I succumbed and just said, right, okay, cool. AITA, what say you?
I say definitely not. I say he should have been a little more asshole-ish. Me, when I'm in this scenario, I tell them with a straight face, I don't have email.
I love that.
I look another adult.
I ain't got it.
In the year 2019, I'm holding my iPhone. Email, what is it? I don't have it. Because I don't want to be inundated. So I think, he should have been an asshole, I think. He's very kind.
I disagree. I mean, I think, let's not misuse the word asshole here. Being assertive does not make you an asshole. It can. But in this case, if he had just doubled down and said, like, don't put me on the list, that doesn't make him an asshole.
Of course not. Definitely not.
That's completely his right. On the other hand, I don't really think she's an asshole. I'm sure she has some fucking bullshit quota. She has to do it. For Journeys corporate, By the way, nobody gives a shit about your Journeys. Am I right, folks?
Boom, roasted.
We quit stand-up. Okay, no, I'm still doing it sometimes. Okay. Yeah, so I think, look, I don't think she's an asshole. I say no assholes here on this.
Same. Agree.
And honestly, if she had said like, hey, look, I'm sorry. Like, I have to hit this quota for the corporate overlords. Can you just hit unsubscribe later? I'd be like, oh my God, gladly, girl. No prob.
Fun fact, when I used to work at Dwayne Reed back in the day, well, it was actually Walgreens because it was in Ohio, but in New York they call it Dwayne Reed. Anyways, when I worked at Walgreens, I would just fake the emails because you do have to have a certain number. Right. I would just fake it.
Right. That's very funny. You'd write like fucking hot dog 69 or whatever.
Exactly. Like
just throw it in.
Gehanna rules 063@gmail.com or like whatever.
Wait, what rules?
That's just a suburb of Columbus, Gehanna.
Oh, okay.
So it's like just a random suburb, whatever. Like.
Wow. Good reference for one person. Guys, please submit your own feedback, questions, tiny moments, anything at all. AITApod.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
We want to hear from you. Please submit.
That concludes the letters portion. And I don't think we said this earlier, but we have a commitment to our listeners. We're going to always start with the meat first.
Yep, we dive right in.
I am so sick, Anthony, of getting recommended podcasts. People are like, you got to listen to this. I'm not going to call any out.
10 minutes of BS up front.
10 minutes.
It's so self-indulgent.
Ugh.
We'll be indulgent at the end.
At the end. But first, we got a couple of segments. One segment is called I'm the Asshole, where Anthony and I list a situation where we're the asshole.
Yeah. And actually, I have a food blog, Upper Feast, as we mentioned. And
that's 2 mentions per episode.
I have.
You are over. That's a bogey. He bogeyed.
Well, I have a light. I have a foodie light because without light, there's
I love
nothing.
this story. Right. You have a light. So for the listeners, you use an iPhone.
Yep, iPhone X.
But you like to enhance the iPhone. By the way, I think this is fascinating. Your audience doesn't like if you use a professional camera. They like the iPhone, but you do have, it's like a tiny ring light.
Exactly. They call it a selfie light. I bought it on Amazon for $15. Clips on your iPhone. It has 3 settings, and it's relatively small and innocuous. It's like a very reasonable light. And so I was at a casual restaurant, and it wasn't pitch black, mind you. But, the food was looking a little dull, so I wanted to church it up with a light. And I turn on the light, and I hear, hey, hey.
Oh, my God.
And so I'm ignoring it, and then I start hearing miss. She's shouting miss at me. Miss, miss. And I'm a man. I go, hi, I'm a man. I have a high voice. And she goes, turn off your light. You're bothering me.
Oh, my God.
Keep in mind, she's behind me and back and to the left, and so the light is facing not even in her direction.
But she is at a table that is touching your table?
No, it's like 2 feet away, 2 feet back and to the left.
Oh, I see. They're floating tables. So she is at the table most immediately behind you.
Correct.
Got it.
So I'm doing my light, and she goes, turn it off, you're bothering me, to which I say sorry, and I keep my light on.
Love it.
And then she goes, you don't seem very sorry. And then I go, well, I'm not.
Ooh, got her.
To which she literally put a linen over her face. She took her napkin and put it over her face to shield her eyes. Then I
Wait, hold on. This is so. First of all, can we get an age range on this woman?
I would say 60 to 70. So
And she took the napkin.
Took the napkin
and put it on her head to balance it, or held it there?
She held it there, like to mask her face, like
from the blinding selfie light.
Exactly, which wasn't even pointed in her direction. And her husband mumbles something to her, but I don't know what he says. And then, so she leaves me alone, and then she's just holding the linen. I put my light down, and I'm just going to start eating my food.
Right.
I'm ready to move on with my life, mind my own business, but I feel these hate beams. She's staring at me with visceral hatred. So me, being Mr. Petty, I pull out my light and just hold it on for no reason.
Nom, nom, nom. I love it. I wish I could have been there.
So am I the asshole for the light?
No, I think there was, first of all, there's so many things that she did that were wrong. First of all, how she addressed you,
Yeah.
is not nice to call. If you misgender someone, that's
And
not
shouting
nice.
it, no less.
I mean, how casual was this place?
I mean, it's a pizza shop that also has pasta.
Oh, give me a break. Okay, no, forget it. I can't even stop. I was going to say, if I'm at Jean Georges, if I'm spending money on food and there's some asshole with a light like, nah, then yes, I might get irritated and I might say something. But if the entrees are under $20,
They were definitely under $20.
Oh, this woman needs to get a reality check.
You want to know the best part? My favorite part?
Oh, boy.
Is the manager who invited me to come there comes and sits by me. So even if she were to complain, he's cracking jokes with me.
Right.
He brings me a glass of wine.
Because you were there on business.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it.
If she would have asked me nicely,
Right.
Excuse me, sir, like my eyes are sensitive, or you're bothering me, I would have turned it off 100%. I would have turned it off. I would have went outside and taken the photo, because like it wasn't even completely dark out. It was like,
oh wow,
it was like 4:30 p.m. So it was like getting dark, but it wasn't dark. So had she been nice, I would have went outside and taken the photo. Natural light's better anyway. But since she was so nasty and like, she's just like, picture a stereotypical Upper West Side person, and that's who she was.
Got it.
Whatever you're thinking, that's it.
I have so much to say about this story. So first, going back to the address, I had this quote I've been excited to share with you. And there are situations we're in. This woman was not in a situation that really even should be remedied. I would argue that you're at a cheap place. You're going to get a cheap experience. It's just as ridiculous as going to Chuck E. Cheese and being like, you need to tell your kids to shut up. It's like, you're at Chuck E. Cheese. Like, welcome to reality.
Right.
But there are situations where people do things that are wrong and they need to be called out. And I think that's what a lot of the posts are. And I grapple with this a lot. And I got a juicy quote for you, baby.
Let's hear it.
I ran into this quote and I've been chewing on it. Discretion is the better part of valor.
Ooh.
Now, I had to look up every word in this. Even is. No. What is valor? Well, valor, it's like bravery. It's when you go in and you are victorious. It does kind of have a victory. You go in, you're brave, and you execute. Okay. But what is the better part of it? What does that mean? Valor is made up of like courage. That's part of it. right? You got to have balls, whatever gives you that. But discretion is the better part. And what's discretion? It's how you do what you do. And if you do it also. That's my other favorite part. It's if, right? Because sometimes you don't need to go in guns a-blazing.
Right.
Right? And I've been thinking a lot about this because I have a classic situation, which is a lot like your situation. It's you think someone's doing something wrong. In this case, this woman is wrong. And you want to remedy it. However, you have to acknowledge that the first part here is that you do have a goal. So if you are an asshole, you won't achieve your goal. My story where I failed and my mom called me clean on it. It was a guy, we were at the Highline Park, and this guy is standing on the grass with his baby. And there's a sign that says, don't touch the grass, like we're working on the grass. And I started yelling at him. And then he was like, because he was on the grass and his baby, and he's like, oh, is my baby hurting the grass? I was like, you're also on the grass, Einstein, is what I said, which was hilarious.
I bet that felt good in the moment saying
It did
that.
feel good. And then my mom goes, you didn't get your goal. He was still on the grass. So that didn't work. And I had to admit my mom owned my ass in that moment because I was like, damn, you're right. Like I don't know why I did. I mean, I know why I did it because it gives you a nasty adrenaline spike to go at someone like that. It's pretty sick. And I don't do drugs, so that's all I got. But when I ran into this phrase, I thought that is the phrase because in that situation, I should have used discretion. And what I should have told the man, and I've done a lot of thinking about this countless nights, is, sir, just so you know, they use chemicals on the grass and it can make your son sick.
And then he probably would have been like, oh my God, thank you so much.
Bingo.
But also it is New York, so he very well could have been like, fuck off, I'm walking here.
Yeah, he might have been. I don't think so, though, because it was a young baby.
Do you feel like he could have fought you? Like, were you very confident?
Oh, he did. Oh, physically fought me?
Yeah.
He couldn't have really. He would have had to do some weird acrobatics because there was like a whole crowd. There was throngs and throngs of people there.
Because that's a pretty bold move to yell at a strange person.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I'll do that stuff. I mean, I have another story about that. Yeah, you said the west side earlier.
Yeah.
This was on the west.
It was on the Upper West Side, yeah. 89th in Amsterdam.
Okay. So we live in the east side, which is notoriously, I would say, a little more asshole-ish.
A little more bourgeois.
Yes. And there are some characters here, and one story is very similar to that. I was on the train, and there was a man with, I would assume, was a helium tank. It was a large metallic cylinder.
We were together. I know what you're going to say.
Oh, we were together. That's right. He is in the way of the entrance to the train. He's not blocking it. There's enough room to walk through.
Because he's completely to the left side. Like, you can be on the left, the right, or the middle.
Right.
That's fair to say?
It's like a 7-foot or a 5-foot gap. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
And an old woman walks right into the train. She's unimpeded because he's not blocking the entrance. He's just in the entrance and then proceeds to berate him.
Yep. You need to move, sir. You need to move. So privileged.
And he says, white people. And it killed, by the way. I would say 4 people laughed, not counting me.
Which is a lot for the train because people don't like to interact with anyone on the train.
Exactly. That is a nuclear bomb kill shot.
That's a standing ovation pretty much.
Pretty much. So after when we got off the train, I felt the need because I wanted my little adrenaline hit. And I told the woman, first I just said, that was rude. And she was like, yes, it was. And then I said, no. I mean, you're rude.
Yeah, because at first she thought you were on her team.
Exactly.
But you made it abundantly clear that you were on his side.
These kooky old ladies, they're out here and they're overstepping their bounds. And they need to know, someone needs to tell them, discretion is a better part of valor.
Absolutely.
Folks. We're going to play a little game that I came up with, and the games are in beta. We're going to try to figure out some better games. But this is a little game called Hero or Meh. It's the reverse, guys, because the whole thing is about if you're an asshole or not. This is Hero or Meh, and I'm going to give some situations to Anthony, and he's going to tell us what they are. I gave up my seat on the subway just so I can have some smug satisfaction. Hero or Meh?
I think hero. You gave up your seat. Regardless of the reason, you still gave up your seat.
Right. So doing things for your own personal kind of gratification, that's okay.
I think so. Absolutely.
I donate $100 to charity, but I make a Facebook post about it.
I think the flex, the bragging on the internet downgrades it to a meh.
Not a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess when I kind of feel like the whole bragging about charity thing is it encourages people to give. Is that maybe a moral good, even if you are bragging?
I think it's a nice thought. I don't know if say 85 people click like that you donated $100. I don't know that any of those 85 people are going to donate.
But suppose that one does. Still meh?
I don't know. That's a tough call.
Stumped him.
I guess if you could prove, like someone comments like, hey, because of this post, I donated.
Right.
Then I would upgrade it to hero. But I think
We got to prove it to you.
if there's no proof, I gotta stick with meh.
You heard it here first.
Gotta stick
folks.
with meh guts.
Prove it to Anthony. Okay, this has really happened. I'm sober, everybody. I'm sober. Mom, I really am. This happened. I bought my friend's dinner, but I refused to cover the alcohol because I'm sober, because it's fucking expensive.
Alcohol's violently overpriced in Manhattan.
It's
So
crazy.
So let me ask you this. When you say you bought them dinner but refused to buy alcohol, when they went to dinner with you, were they under the impression that everything was included, that alcohol was included,
No.
that food was
It was
included?
at the end. I said, hey, I'd like to get this. Let me get this, but I'm not buying the booze.
Okay. So I think hero. I think you did a nice thing.
Right.
Because they, in their mind, they're eating, they're drinking. In their mind, they think they're going to have to pay for it.
Right.
But you're like, you know what? Danny's got this. The food
Right.
only. Now, I know you would say, like, if they bought, like, a sparkling water, if they bought, like, a lemonade, you're here for it.
Yes. None did, though.
None did. They just
They're
wanted
filthy alcoholics.
the $18 cocktails, I'm sure. Maybe
Oh,
20
no, they got
even.
like bottles of wine that cost $120. It's like cost more than the whole meal.
Yeah, that's not cool.
That's not cool. I'm not paying for that.
Were they upset with you? Did they think you were not the hero?
One friend called me out and was like, well, yeah, you didn't really get dinner. You got the meal. And I was like, well, yeah, that's dinner. That's what
you
dinner
ate is dinner. That's the meal.
Exactly.
Were you tempted to be like, Venmo me then? Venmo me your 40
I should have. I honestly should.
But you're a nice guy.
I try. Well, I think that's it. There are a couple things we'd love to tell you guys to do. First of all, we are itching for your feedback.
Absolutely. Please comment, message us, give us 5 stars on iTunes, and leave us a little review.
Find all our links, our social handles, our submission form, so you can tell us about a situation where you may have been the asshole, or you can just complain to us if that's what you want to do at AITApod.com. That's AITAPOD.com. Put it on your Insta story, folks. And that's it. That's the first episode. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching.
We'll see you next time.